Starting off part 2 and finishing off the triple digits, we have the rocker. Again, the rocker has no abilities except being a rockin' dude. And by rockin' dude, I mean he likes to rock out whenever he's standing idle. So I mean, that's not nothing. Like the sushi chef and the postman, they just stand there. But I don't know. Trust me, I bet if sonar was an ability in this game, the rocker would definitely be the only dude to have it. And just like that, I've already run out of things to say regarding this guy in this game. Really, these useless characters are exhausting to get through and frustrating in a way. Like, they can't do anything, so why even bother adding them to the game? Also, Rocker was another minifigure included in the collectible minifigure series for the LEGO Ninjago movie. I don't know why they added several random background extras in the movie to the series, but the Rocker and the Sushi Chef are two of them, so let's just move on. Here's the last character with literally no abilities. There are characters with one or more useless abilities, but at least they're abilities, you know? Anyway, this is Dareth. What makes him the best of the useless characters? I don't know, honestly. He's a self-proclaimed martial arts master and calls himself the Brown Ninja. If he's the Brown Ninja, what would his element be? You know, I'm not even going to say it. You all already know. But anyway, I really wish they at least gave Dareth something to work with in this game. Obviously, I'm not going to say which abilities I would have wanted him to have, since I want to go over abilities as we discover them with new characters on the list, but just know that I wish Dareth wasn't completely useless. Hold up. How to pronounce Camille. I'm sure she has a video on her, dude. Does she? Does she even? I'm looking at these videos trying to figure out how to pronounce her name. Okay, so it's just Camille, not Shamil. Okay. Okay. What is that video? It was just like a 5-second video of just a picture of this chick. So there are a bunch of random characters from the show, as it turns out, to beef up this roster. And I can't say I'm surprised, and I'm actually in support of that decision. Camille is another character from the Ninjago television show. Now, I only watched a tiny bit of Ninjago. I watched up till the point where Garmadon became like an old dude. I thought that would be the conclusion of Ninjago since the main bad guy was good again, but apparently they kept going, and I didn't keep up. The show is on Netflix, so I might pick it back up again, you know. But I mean, I'm a bit past the demographic for the show. But back on Camille. She has one ability, which makes her better than everyone else so far on the list automatically. But, I mean, this one's dumb. The first ability we're covering is the disguise ability. Honestly, I didn't even know it was an ability until I had to get footage for the game. You never use it for anything at all. So what's the point of it? I don't know. Maybe it'll make enemies not attack you? But Camille's disguise in this game is just a giant purple ball. What is that, a disguise of plasma? It's so dumb. And I don't think you can turn it off after you turn it on. It just strains your eyes. At least it did for me. So there are these guys called the Time Twins, and Crux here is one of them. However, the difference in usefulness is absurd, because Crux's brother is in the top 20% of the list, and this guy is stuck with just disguise. Yep, just like Camille, Crux only has disguise, and that's it. So what does he disguise himself as? Some stupid old dude. This actually pisses me off, because his brother is so much better, and this guy's just an old man. According to the Ninjago wiki, which I'll be referring to a ton for these characters from the show, the Time Twins are time elementals, which is dumb. Time isn't an element. I hate to break it to you. Apparently, Crux can go back in time and pause time completely, but he can't go forward. I guess this could work for combat especially, but something like that can't be translated into this game as one of these abilities, so he's stuck with just transformation into Asian Colonel Sanders. Wait, his regular name is Dr. Saunders? Bro. These last few characters have been elemental masters, much in the same way as the main ninjas of Ninjago. For example, Kai is the elemental master of fire, Jay with lightning, etc. Tox is the elemental master of poison, according to the wiki, of course. Now, that would be interesting to see in the game, yes? Like, how would poison be incorporated? Well, it's used for force fields. Force field is the second ability so far that we covered in this game, and it's also pretty useless. Basically, it's used to block enemy attacks. Supposedly. That's really it. In this game, there are these dojos in each area, and the goal is to get as many points as possible in order to win the awards, which are characters. Some abilities are meant to help you during combat specifically, since combat in this game is much more nuanced than in most LEGO games. Like, there are different moves that you can do depending on the order of buttons that you push. And you can unlock more moves and upgrade them as you progress in the game. It's actually pretty cool and one of the only good things about this game. It's just that after you complete the story, the only place you can use these fighting techniques is in these dojos. A big part of getting the most points in these dojos are combos. Combos will multiply your studs and get you a better score. These force fields, such as the ones Tox can summon, may protect you, but it prevents you from getting combos since you can't attack. So it's pretty useless in my opinion. Plus, Tox's force field looks just like a giant fart bubble. It's disgusting.
Holy Krabby Patties! Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy's arch nemesis, the Dirty Bubble!
You cannot save them, sponge of mystery! They are trapped by my awesome surface tension!
So Edna is the adoptive mother of Jay. You know, the blue one. I don't think that's the case for the Jay we see in the LEGO Ninjago movie, but at least that's the case for the show. In fact, Edna's one ability has to do with the environment you find her in the show. Edna's one ability is fast build. Fast build is pretty self-explanatory. Characters with it can build faster. That's it. And most LEGO games, fast build is an extra that you unlock, but here it's just a regular ability. Anyway, I did say that her ability is in relation to her role in the show. She co-owns a scrapyard where they build stuff, so I guess Edna having fast build makes sense because that's what she does for a living. In the show, the Fangpire, an enemy faction of the Snake People, ambushed the scrapyard and literally bit vehicles to turn them into snake cars. No, I'm not joking. You know, when you're watching the show, you're just like, yeah, that makes sense. But like when you say it out loud, like I am right now, it's a little ridiculous. But trust me, it's better. It works in the show. I think it's been a minute since I watched it. So naturally, with Jay's mom comes Jay's dad. This is the guy who officially owns the scrapyard, I guess. This also means that Ed has fast build just like Edna. Also, what are the chances that a guy named Ed and a woman named Edna would marry? Like, do you think they're only together because their names are so similar? Or do you think it's just lazy writing? Anyway, let's save those questions for another time. Back to the whole serpentine vehicle thing I touched on in the last segment. Llyod Garmadon, the one who would end up being the Green Ninja, was actually there when the Fangpire did the biting. In the show, Lloyd's origin was pretty dumb. He was first an evil little boy who tried to be like his dad, Llyod Garmadon. But then he turned to the light side of the Spinjitzu or something and started to train to be the Green Ninja. Then, under some weird circumstance, with a dragon in a comic book shop, I don't know, the details are a bit fuzzy, but he grew up in an instant. He just gained 10 years to his name and became an adult. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, and some details are a little left out, but that's the gist. This is the second LEGO game I've covered on this channel in a row that has a hot dog man in it. However, I do believe the hot dog man in this game is better than the one we see in LEGO Incredibles. In LEGO Incredibles, the sharpshoot is garbage. He throws a hot dog at negative speeds, but in this game, the sharpshoot ability is just called target, which is how I'll be referring to it in this series. And it's the same thing. And besides, the Hot Dog Man's target ability in this game is way better than in Lego Incredibles. I mean, not way better. It's only part 2. But Hot Dog Man has condiment guns. One for ketchup and one for mustard. I mean, you don't see those targets around that often, but this guy's your guy if you ever do see one. Fortunately, the target ability doesn't do you much good in terms of combat because a lot of the combat system in this game relies on you pulling off combos with different types of fighting moves. Shade is another one of those people who participated in the Tournament of Elements in the Ninjago TV show, just like Tox and Camille did. Shade's designated element is Shadow. How does this translate to this game? Well, the stealth ability. The stealth ability is not new to LEGO games, but it is new to this channel. Never mind, no it's not. It's not. Violet had it in the form of the invisibility ability back in Lego Incredibles. I mean, that was the equivalent, but this is stealth. Basically, there are cameras above open doors, and basically if you get close, the camera will detect you and close the door. But with characters with the stealth ability, just like Shade here, can go invisible and bypass these cameras and therefore get through the door. Again, I haven't seen the show, so I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know if the stealth ability in this game accurately depicts his powers in the show. In any case, I don't really care. And stealth is his only ability, and having only one ability is not enough to get you high up in the list. Ash is yet another competitor in the Tournament of Elements in the Ninjago TV show, and since every competitor has their own special element, Ash's designated element is smoke. I feel bad for this guy. He probably inhales a ton of smoke and will probably die of lung cancer at some point soon. But anyway, how does his obsession with smoke relate to his abilities in the game? Well, stealth, again. Yes, apparently shadows and smoke are the same when it comes to the Lego Ninjago movie game. But yeah, Ash has stealth and nothing else. So, with that being said, I guess we'll just have to settle on, talking about some lore for the remainder of the segment. Ash fought Kai, the red one, the red ninja, in a volcano, and he lost. But apparently before that, he was a fierce competitor. The wiki's words, not mine. And I guess he'd just make his opponent inhale smoke until tar filled up their lungs or something. At least that's what I would do. Because that's the logical thing to do when you have the power to control smoke.